My dear friends, welcome. Welcome into the sanctuary of self, the sacred temple where the word becomes flesh, where dreams are clothed in the garments of reality, and where the unseen becomes seen by the power of your own imagination. Tonight, I beckon you into a revelation that has the power to break the chains of delay and usher your desires into manifestation twice as fast. Yes, twice as fast. Not because the external world changes more quickly, but because you underscore change more deeply. Because the eternal truth is this: the world is yourself pushed out. And when the self is transformed, the world must follow in swift obedience. You may ask, who am I to make such a claim? I am but a voice reminding you of your own divine authority, of that sacred power which has been entrusted to you since the beginning. I'm Neville Goddard, and I do not speak theories. I speak the law. I speak from experience. I speak from the truth that has been tested and proven in my life, and in the lives of countless others who dare to believe, dare to imagine. For more than 3 decades, I have traveled this earth sharing one singular truth. Underscore imagination creates reality. Underscore, and the key to wielding this creative power lies not in effort, not in toil, not in labor, but in repetition. Daily, sacred, intentional repetition. You see, repetition is not mere redundancy. It is rhythm. It is ritual. It is the echo of God through the corridors of the mind. It is the hammer that shapes the iron of belief. Repetition is how we train the imagination to dwell not in the shadows of what was, but in the light of what underscore is now true underscore, regardless of appearances. And I promise you, if you will repeat this one thing daily, just one thing, with unwavering faith and sacred solemnity, you shall witness the law in operation with breathtaking precision. Your manifestations will come not crawling, but leaping, for your assumption, maintained daily with feeling, shall harden into fact twice as fast. That is not wishful thinking. That is the decree of law. Let us remember this. Your world is not created by external forces. It is not shaped by luck, nor fate, nor the opinions of others. Your world is born of your inner speech, your imaginal acts, your daily rehearsals of belief. As Scripture declares, underscore, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Underscore that word, my friends, is your inner word, your inner image, your inner repetition. For what is God, if not your own wonderful human imagination? And what is imagination, if not the womb of creation, the altar of the Most High within you? Consider the child who learns to walk, not by walking once, but by rising again and again, by repeating the act until it becomes natural. So it is with the soul who learns to manifest. You must practice your new state of being until it becomes your dwelling place, until it is no longer an effort to assume it, but a joy to rest in it. Therefore, I tell you, the repetition of your wish fulfilled, done underscore, daily underscore, is the sacred act by which your reality is formed. Each repetition is a brushstroke upon the canvas of your world. And when those strokes are made with conviction, with emotion, with the full weight of belief, they summon forces beyond comprehension. They open the gates of heaven and pour forth the fulfillment of your desire. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Would you wait years for what could come in months? Would you linger and delay when the door is open now? Would you beg for that which is already yours in imagination? Repeat it daily, not as one who hopes, but as one who knows. Speak the words of fulfillment, not as prayer to an external deity, but as the living decree of the I am within you. Say it each morning before your feet touch the ground. Whisper it each night as you drift into sleep. Let your mind be soaked in the perfume of fulfilled desire, and your world must yield to the fragrance of your belief. This is no empty promise. This is the pattern of creation itself. For the mind, trained by repetition, becomes a mirror to the soul's deepest assumption. And that assumption, when believed as true, must become fact. The Father in secret sees in secret and rewards openly. He does not delay. He does not forget. He only responds to your underscore persistent inner state underscore. So I ask you now, will you repeat the old tale of lack and limitation? Or will you, from this day forward, repeat the new story? The one in which your desires are already fulfilled, your joy already overflowing, your destiny already written in golden letters? Begin tonight. Speak the words as though they are already true. Feel the feelings of the one who has already received. Imagine with clarity, believe with boldness, and repeat it with reverence. Repeat this daily, and watch your world transform. For I say unto you again, underscore repeat this daily to manifest everything twice as fast. Underscore and let this sacred decree ring in your mind until it becomes your gospel, your discipline, your delight. It is done. It is finished. My world reflects my assumption. My imagination is law. And so it is. My beloved, let us now turn our gaze inward to the inner sanctum of consciousness where all creation begins and ends. If you understood the sacred machinery of manifestation, if you perceived the hidden gears turning behind the veil of your senses, you would see this truth blazoned in golden letters across the whole of your experience. Repetition is the key. Why is this so? Because it is by repetition that the subconscious is impressed. It is by repetition that the formless takes form. It is by repetition that the word, spoken in silence, becomes flesh and walks among us. Your subconscious mind, this holy servant, this divine womb of reality, does not reason. It does not debate. It does not choose. It underscore accepts, underscore. And what is accept? That which is felt as true, that which is repeated with emotion, that which is soaked in the perfume of your persistent imagination. Just as a field does not question the seed, but simply brings forth according to its kind, so your subconscious brings forth what is most consistently planted within it. This is the eternal law, not a law made by men, but the law from the beginning, a law that governs all. Underscore as within, so without, as above, so below, as repeated, so impressed. Underscore, do you see it now? The very fabric of your world is a tapestry woven by threads of repeated thought and feeling. If your inner dialogue is rich with doubt, then doubt is the thread that binds your days. If your imaginal acts are soaked in lack, then lack shall clothe your world. But if you would only choose a new image, a new thought, a new conviction, and repeat it daily with the solemnity of sacred worship, you would awaken to a new heaven and a new earth. Understand this. Repetition is not mere rote. It is not lifeless recitation. It is the rhythmic heartbeat of belief. Just as the beating of the heart sends life through the body, so the repetition of belief sends life through your desire. And the subconscious listens, not to the volume of your voice, but to the frequency of your faith. Have you ever learned to drive a car, or perhaps to play an instrument? Did you master it at once, in one glorious attempt? Of course not. You repeated. You failed. You tried again. And over time, with patient persistence, the unfamiliar became natural. What once required effort became automatic. That, my friend, is the law of impression. The conscious mind initiates, but it is repetition that seals the truth into the subconscious and makes it flesh. Imagine a pianist, her fingers gliding effortlessly across the keys, not because she is gifted by nature, but because she has given herself to the practice. Hour upon hour, she repeated the motion, not with frustration, but with reverence, until one day the music lived in her. She no longer played the notes. Underscore, she became the song. Underscore, this is what I call living from the end. You do not wait until the world changes before you believe. You believe until the world changes. And how do you cultivate this belief? By repetition, by speaking your wish fulfilled again and again, until your inner ear hears it as the only truth. By seeing the image of your desire behind closed eyes again and again, until it becomes more vivid than the so-called facts of the outer world. Your subconscious does not sleep. It is the eternal recorder. It remembers every tone of inner speech, every image you entertain, every feeling you rehearse. It is underscore, not underscore swayed by a single burst of enthusiasm, but by the steady rhythm of belief. And here lies the secret. Whatever you repeat often enough with enough feeling becomes accepted as real, and once accepted, it must be expressed. Let this not discourage you, but empower you. For the simplicity of the law is your greatest gift. You do not need to be brilliant, nor mystical, nor favored. You need only repeat, again and again, the truth you wish to see made manifest. And if you do so with feeling, the subconscious will receive it. And once received, the world must reflect it. So many wait for signs, for shifts, for miracles. But I say, become the sign, become the shift, become the miracle. Through repetition, through this sacred discipline, the old man dissolves and the new man is born. As the Apostle Paul declared, underscore, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Underscore, and how is the mind renewed? By persistent repetition of new assumptions until the old patterns are no more. If you would change your life, you must first change your inner conversations. And if you would change your inner conversations, you must repeat the new story until it sings within you like a psalm. Speak to yourself not as who you were, but as who you choose to be. Speak these new words not once, but daily, not weekly, but with the authority of one who knows the law. For repetition is the hammer that shapes the stone. It is the chisel that carves a new identity from the marble of habit. It is the sacred fire that forges a new self. And I tell you now, if you do not choose what you repeat, the world will choose for you. And what the world repeats is limitation, fear, and lack. But you are called to something higher. Repeat daily what you underscore desire underscore to see. Repeat it with feeling. Repeat it with love. Repeat it until it becomes natural. And when it feels natural, it is done. For underscore feeling is the secret underscore, and underscore repetition is the path to naturalness. Underscore, you may not believe it yet, but repeat it. You may not feel it fully, but repeat it. You may stumble, but repeat it. For repetition plants the seed, nourishes the root, and one day, without warning, the fruit shall burst forth. Therefore, do not despise the day of small beginnings. Every great transformation began with a single, repeated thought. And if you would manifest all things in twice as fast, this is the way: repetition with feeling, repetition with vision, repetition with love. So let your mind become a garden of sacred echoes. Let your words be the gentle rain. Let your images be the golden light. And let your belief be the seed, repeated daily until the harvest comes. It always does. My beloved seekers of truth, hear me now, not with your outer ears, but with the ears of spirit. For what I am about to declare is the cornerstone of all manifestation, the law upon which the entire structure of your life rests. Imagination creates reality, not as metaphor, not as poetry, not as hopeful philosophy, but as divine law, immutable, absolute, eternal. Before anything appears in your world, it must first be imagined. All things, whether they be noble or tragic, joyful or sorrowful, seen or unseen, underscore, all things begin in the imagination. Underscore, your outer world is but the crystallization of your inner world, the outpicturing of what you have dared to feel as real within. The imagination is the womb of all experience, and your life is the child of your most dominant inner vision. Look around you. This world you inhabit, this body you wear, this name you answer to, they're all the result of imaginal activity, some conscious, much unconscious. But whether known or unknown, the law works ceaselessly. It is no respecter of persons. It responds not to what you say you believe, but to what you dare to imagine as true. I ask you now, where do you dwell in imagination? For where you dwell mentally, you shall surely dwell physically. Your circumstances are not accidents. They're the outgrowth of imaginal seeds planted over time and watered by feeling. Every conversation you rehearse inwardly, every scene you replay, every emotion you entertain, these are prayers offered at the altar of consciousness. And the God that answers these prayers is your own wonderful human imagination. You may say, but Neville, I did not imagine this difficulty, this lack, this heartbreak. And I tell you, whether you imagine it willingly or allowed it passively through repeated attention to fear and doubt, it can be by law. Imagination is always creating. The question is never underscore if underscore you're imagining, but underscore what underscore you're imagining. Therefore, I urge you to become deliberate, become intentional, become sovereign in the theater of your mind. No longer allow imagination to wander like a beggar through the alleys of past pain. Command it like a king issuing a decree. Use it like a sculptor shaping form from formless clay. Practice it daily as one would tend a sacred fire. For the secret to manifestation is not in trying harder, not in striving, not in effort, but in imagining more faithfully, more fully, more frequently. It is underscore imagining the end underscore in resting in the feeling that it is already so. If you would change your world, you must change your imagination. You must dare to occupy a state that contradicts the senses. You must persist in that state until the outer confirms what the inner has accepted as true. This is not madness. This is faith. And faith is not hoping that something might be. It is knowing that it already is, though unseen. Let's take the example of creation itself. In Genesis, we read, underscore, let there be light. Underscore, that command was not spoken into the void by an external deity, but by the I am within you. When you say inwardly, let there be love, let there be wealth, let there be healing, and you imagine it with feeling, you are speaking the creative word. In the universe must obey, for it is yourself in action. Do not wait for conditions to change before you imagine the change. That is to invert the order of reality. It is not the world that changes first. It is you. You imagine, and then the world reflects. You assume, and then the outer conforms. As within, so without. Let us remember the example of Jesus, the master of imagination. Before the loaves appeared, he gave thanks. Before Lazarus walked, he spoke as if the resurrection were already complete. This is the way of the awakened soul, not to ask, when will it be, but to declare, it is now. And this declaration is not shouted into the air, but whispered into the heart. It is imagined, felt, lived inwardly, rehearsed in the stillness of the soul. For the subconscious, the servant of all, accepts that which is felt as real, and once accepted, it begins its sacred task of bringing it to pass. The wise understand. It is the underscore practice underscore of imagination that shortens the distance between the unseen and the seen. It is not a single flash of vision, but the underscore daily dwelling underscore in the desired state that moves mountains. Therefore, I say to you, if you would manifest quickly, practice daily, not with strain, but with love, not with tension, but with trust. Let your imagination become your home, not your vacation. Imagine every morning as you wake. Imagine every night as you sleep. Let the final thought before you drift into rest be the scene of your wish fulfilled. Let it saturate your mind like incense in a temple. Let it become so familiar, so natural, that you no longer wonder if it will happen. You know it has already happened in the only place that matters. Underscore within. Underscore then, and only then, will the outer begin to mold itself to match the pattern you have impressed. For the outer is not the cause. It is the shadow, is the echo. The real act of creation takes place in the unseen, in the stillness, in the secret imaginal act. So I ask you now, what are you imagining daily? Are you imagining yourself as defeated, delayed, denied? Or are you imagining yourself as victorious, fulfilled, at peace? Are you imagining from the pain of what is, or from the joy of what is already true in imagination? The law is perfect. It cannot fail. Your imagination is the creative faculty of God Himself, wearing your face, walking as you, dreaming your dreams into existence. Use it well. Use it wisely. Use it daily. And you shall see what the prophets saw, what the poets sang, what the mystics knew, that all things are possible to him who imagines. Imagination creates reality. Say it until it becomes a living truth within you. Say it until every doubt is drowned. Say it until your inner world becomes so rich, so real, so radiant, that the outer world has no choice but to follow. And it will. It must. It always does. My dear companions in awakening, now that we have opened the veil and seen that imagination is the only reality, the only true creator, let us now become wise in its use. Let us move from mere knowledge into sacred selection. For if imagination creates, then what you choose to imagine becomes the cornerstone of your world. And herein lies a holy responsibility. You must choose what to repeat. This is not a passive process. This is divine authorship. You are the scribe of your destiny, and your repetition is the ink that writes upon the scroll of the subconscious. Each phrase, each scene, each silent question you rehearse within yourself becomes a living seed planted in the fertile soil of being. So I ask you, solemnly and with love, what are you planting? To create well, you must first choose well. And what you choose to repeat must be the essence of your fulfilled desire. Nothing vague, nothing half-formed, nothing dependent on the future. It must be now. It must be clear. It must be alive. Perhaps you're moved to choose a simple phrase. Let it be one that burns with the fire of completion. Not a hope, not a plea, not a distant possibility, but a decree of what already is in the unseen. I am loved. I am wealthy. I am healed. I have more than enough. These are not affirmations in the modern, mechanical sense. These are sacred utterances. They are I am statements. The name of God speaking through you. The subconscious hears only the present tense. It does not understand, I will be, I hope to be, I'm trying to become. Such language only reinforces that your desire is elsewhere, always just out of reach. But when you say, I am, you enter the secret place. You clothe yourself in the feeling of fulfillment. You declare yourself already changed. You may also choose a scene, a brief, vivid, emotionally charged imaginal act. It need not be long. Let it be as brief as a dream and as potent as prophecy. Perhaps it is the touch of a wedding ring, the feel of a paycheck in your hand, the sound of someone congratulating you, the sight of your name on the office door. Do not explain the desire. Experience the fulfillment. And repeat it, not once, but as often as needed until the inner world accepts it as law. A single scene, fully felt and lovingly repeated, will do more than 1,000 vague affirmations mumbled in haste. For what matters is not the length, but the intensity and naturalness . Can you feel it real? Can you repeat it until it becomes a familiar place in consciousness? And then there are the sacred questions, not asked from doubt, but from the joy of wonder. Isn't it wonderful? How did it happen so perfectly? Why am I so blessed? These are not inquiries. They are invitations. They are inner doorways that move the mind beyond resistance. The subconscious, hearing a question, seeks an answer, not from reason, but from assumption. If you ask, why am I so loved, with a heart full of joy, the subconscious will answer, because you are. And so it shall be. But again I say, you must choose. You must choose with care. Choose a phrase that holds your entire desire like a diamond in the palm. Choose a scene that captures the end, not the process. Choose a question that leads the mind to dwell in the state of the wish fulfilled. And once you have chosen, repeat. Not as one who pleads, but as one who remembers. Speak it with reverence. See it with delight. Ask it with childlike wonder. Let the repetition become your rhythm, your refuge, your rejoicing. You do not need 10 phrases. You do not need elaborate rituals. You need only one truth, lovingly held and faithfully repeated. Remember, what you repeat, you believe, and what you believe, you become. So speak now as the person you desire to be. Think now from a place you long to reach. Feel now what you yearn to feel. Choose now the word that is already true in the unseen. And let that word echo in your mind until it becomes the song of your soul. This is not merely repetition. This is invocation. This is alignment. This is creation in motion. Let your phrase be short, but let it be sacred. Let your scene be simple, but let it be saturated in feeling. Let your question be humble, but let it be holy. And let your repetition be daily, constant, and filled with gratitude. For what you choose to repeat, you choose to underscore become underscore. And in that holy becoming, the world must bend to reflect what you have accepted within. My beloved friends, if you would manifest your heart's deepest longing, whether for love, for peace, for healing, or for abundance, you must understand this. The subconscious mind only responds to the present moment. It knows no future. It recognizes no someday. It cannot hear I will. It responds solely, powerfully, and exclusively to what is underscore felt as real now underscore. This is the great key so many overlook. They speak of desires as though they live in a distant tomorrow, wrapped in hope, hidden behind conditions yet to be met. But I say unto you, hope deferred makes the heart sick, and the subconscious does not wait with you in hopeful delay. It acts only upon conviction, and conviction is always spoken in the present tense. If you repeat, I will be wealthy, you have already failed, for you have proclaimed lack. I will be loved declares that you are unloved now. I will be healed announces that you are still in bondage to illness. Every time you utter a promise about the future, you cement the absence of your desire in the now. The subconscious hears only what underscore is underscore, not what may be. Therefore, you must speak from the state, not toward it. You must assume the feeling that your desire is not coming. It has underscore come underscore. It is underscore here underscore. It is underscore done underscore. The inner world must reflect the end already achieved, for only then can the outer world bend to match it. This is not self-deception. This is divine alignment. The eternal now is the only point of power. You do not create in some far-off land of possibility. You create in this instant, in this breath, in this sacred present. So when you repeat your chosen phrase, let it resound with the certainty of fulfillment. Say underscore, I have financial abundance now. Underscore, I will. Underscore say, underscore, I am in perfect health now. Underscore, I will be someday. Underscore say, underscore, I am loved deeply now. Underscore, not underscore, it will happen. Underscore, for in the kingdom of the subconscious, the only truth is what you claim to be true now. Even scripture confirms this mystery. Underscore, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Underscore, not tomorrow's faith, not future evidence. Underscore now. Underscore, your assumption must not stretch into the future like a beggar reaching for crumbs. It must stand in the present as a sovereign king, declaring the feast already laid. So I say unto you, feel now what you would feel underscore, then underscore. Think now as you would think underscore, then underscore. Walk now as you would walk underscore, then underscore. Speak now as the one who already underscore has underscore. For in truth, when you live from the end, that end becomes the new beginning. The future is only the shadow of the present projected outward. And if your present is saturated with not yet, then your future must echo with more of the same. But if your inner present is saturated with underscore, it is done underscore, then the outer must rise in obedience to that decree. The subconscious is the holy mirror. It does not debate. It does not delay. It simply reflects what is impressed upon it. And the only language it understands is the language of underscore now, underscore. Therefore, choose your words as a sacred offering. Let them be steeped in the fragrance of fulfillment. Let them speak not of waiting, but of having. Not of hoping, but of being. Say not, I am becoming successful, but rather, I am successful. Say not, love will find me, but rather, love is mine now. Say not, I'm on the way, but rather, I have arrived. This is the true art of assumption, not to imagine a future scene, but to underscore enter it now underscore, to dwell in it, to live from it, and to repeat it with reverent certainty until the subconscious, that holy servant of your I am, receives the command and births it in a visible form. So I urge you, Cleanse your inner speech of all future tense. Let no seed of delay be sown. Speak only what is, as though it already were, for an imagination, it underscore is underscore. And what is true in imagination must, by law, become true in form. Declare now, believe now, feel now, and manifestation shall rush to meet you, not by struggle, not by chance, but by divine law. You're not becoming. You underscore underscore. You're not waiting. You underscore have underscore. You're not hoping. You underscore no underscore. Now is the moment of power. And now is the only time the universe obeys. My dearest companions on this sacred journey of becoming, allow me now to give voice to a mystery so simple, yet so mighty, that when rightly understood and applied, it shall transform your world with a swiftness that seems miraculous. Emotion, joined with repetition, is the secret fire of creation. Without emotion, repetition is but an empty drum, a sound that echoes but does not shape. But when you repeat with underscore feeling underscore, you awaken the divine substance from which all things are born. The subconscious mind is not moved by words alone. It does not respond to cold phrases mouthed from memory. It is not persuaded by mere sound. It is ignited by underscore sensation underscore, by underscore emotion underscore, by the deep currents of underscore feeling underscore that pulse beneath the words. For feeling is the language of the soul, the breath of the spirit, the incense that rises into the heavens of the subconscious and returns as form. If you would impress a new state upon yourself, do not speak your phrase as a parrot recites a line it does not understand. Speak it as a prophet. Speak it as a lover. Speak it as one who knows the power of their inner decree. Let your words be clothed in gratitude, joy, confidence, or peace, whichever is most natural to the end you are imagining. When you say underscore, I am financially abundant now, underscore, do not say it as a lifeless mantra. Say it with the exhilaration of one who has just opened their hands and found them filled with gold. Feel the excitement ripple through your being. Let the heart race with a thrill of sufficiency. Let a smile break upon your face, not forced, but born of the inner certainty that you have entered a new state. When you repeat, underscore, I am loved now, underscore, do not whisper it as one trying to convince a skeptical mind. Say it as though you are wrapped in the arms of that love now, in this very breath. Feel the warmth of connection. Let your chest swell with safety, joy, and the deep peace that comes from knowing you are seen, chosen, cherished. And when you say, underscore, I am in perfect health, underscore, do not recite it as a wish cast into the wind. Say it with the calm conviction of one who has awakened whole and radiant. Let the joy of vitality move through your body. Let every cell rejoice in the truth of the words. This, my friends, is how you breathe life into the repetition. This is how you move beyond the mechanical and into the miraculous. Emotion is the sacred oil poured upon the altar of your imagination. It is the fuel that carries your word into the depths of the subconscious. A dry repetition is like a spark with no tinder. It may flash, but it will not burn. But repetition, soaked in underscore feeling underscore, is the flame that consumes the old and births the new. Ask yourself, underscore, what would I feel if this were already true? Underscore, then feel it now. Let your chosen phrase or scene not only be repeated, but underscore felt as true underscore. And let that feeling fill your whole being. Do not wait for the world to prove it. Prove it inwardly through feeling, and the world will have no choice but to follow. The subconscious is obedient, but it is not logical. It is emotional. It listens not to arguments, but to vibrations. And the highest vibration is that of feeling infused with belief. When you speak your chosen truth with joy, the subconscious hears underscore, it is done. Underscore, when you imagine your scene with the warmth of gratitude, the subconscious replies, underscore, so be it. Underscore, let your repetition not be an obligation, but a celebration. Let lift you. Let enchant you. Let stir you. For when your heart is moved, creation moves. And I tell you, One phrase spoken in full feeling is worth more than 1,000 muttered without belief. One imaginal scene bathed in joy will do more than weeks of vacant repetition. The secret is not simply to underscore, say it often underscore. The secret is to underscore, feel it deeply underscore, again and again, until that feeling becomes natural, until that state becomes home. So if you desire success, speak it with triumphant joy. If you desire peace, speak it with gentle stillness. If you desire love, speak it with warm radiance. Align the underscore feeling underscore with the underscore wish fulfilled underscore, and repeat it until that feeling becomes your constant companion. This is the holy alchemy, repetition and emotion united, like fire and air, like word and breath, like spirit and body. Together, they become creation itself. So I say to you now, with all the love I can summon, do not merely repeat, asterisk, asterisk, feel, asterisk, asterisk. Do not merely speak, asterisk, asterisk, rejoice, asterisk, asterisk. Do not merely visualize, asterisk, asterisk, live, asterisk, asterisk, it inwardly with the joy of one who knows it is already theirs. And your world will bow before the force of that inner truth, not by effort, not by chance, but by law. For what you feel as real in imagination, when repeated with love, underscore must underscore manifest. It is written in the fabric of existence, and it is yours to prove through the sacred fire of feeling. My beloved, do you realize that the most powerful voice you will ever hear is not the one that speaks from pulpits, nor the one that commands armies, nor even the one that whispers from sacred books? No, the most powerful voice is the one that echoes within your own mind. It is the voice you speak to yourself with. It is your inner conversation. It is the ceaseless dialogue of thought made flesh. Asterisk, asterisk, you may believe you think in silence, but I tell you, your thoughts are never silent to your subconscious. They are declarations. They are commands. They are incantations shaping the very clay of your existence. Whether spoken aloud or whispered inwardly in the privacy of your soul, your self-talk is always at work, creating or destroying, blessing or binding, lifting or lowering. Therefore, let this be known, your inner speech is the seed of your outer life. And if you would change the harvest, you must first change the seed. You must begin to speak to yourself not as who you have been, but as who you now choose to be. If you have lived with thoughts of fear, failure, lack, or rejection, do not despair. For even now, you hold the power to uproot those old roots and plant new words, new images, new identities within. This is not a small thing. This is the very work of transformation. Begin to talk to yourself like the person you desire to become. Say, I am confident. I am worthy. I am divinely guided. Everything is working for me. Speak it until it sounds true. And when it begins to sound true, it shall become true. You are not lying to yourself. You are revealing to yourself the greater truth buried beneath the rubble of past beliefs. And whether you speak aloud in the stillness of your room or silently as you walk among others, the effectiveness lies not in volume, but in underscore conviction underscore. Let it sound convincing to you. Let it carry the tone of truth, not mere repetition. You are speaking as a guide to the temple of your own subconscious, and the temple always answers the voice of faith. Let me give you a key to mastering this holy dialogue. Begin the day with the inner voice of authority. Before you rise, before your feet touch the ground, speak the new name of yourself. Say, today I am peaceful, I am clear, I am abundant, I am love itself. These are not hopeful affirmations, they are identity claims. You are not preparing for a better future. You are underscore inhabiting a better now. Underscore then, as the day unfolds, let there be intervals, moments of return to your chosen phrase or scene. Let your inner voice become a rhythm that moves beneath your outer actions. While others speak of problems, your inner voice sings of solutions. While the world reacts, your inner voice underscore creates underscore. This is mastery, not to be ruled by outer conditions, but to maintain your inner conversation as your true compass. And as night falls, let the final voice you hear be your own, speaking from the place of the wish fulfilled. Drift into sleep, not as the person who hopes to receive, but as the one who underscore already has underscore. Say, I'm so grateful for the success that now surrounds me. I sleep in peace, for all is well. I am loved. I am guided. I am whole. Let these words be the lullaby that lingers in the subconscious through the night, impressing themselves upon the eternal. Remember, every time you speak to yourself from your new state, you displace the old. Every positive inner word is a beam of light dissolving the shadows of doubt. And over time, this becomes effortless. The old voice grows silent, and the new voice reigns as the sovereign of your being. Do not underestimate this practice. Do not say, but I've said these things before and nothing changed. My dear, you may have spoken them with your lips while your heart clung to the old story. But now, speak them with feeling, with faith, with reverence, as one addressing God. For that is who you truly are, speaking to the depths of your own being. Your inner voice is the chisel that shapes the sculpture of your life. Use it wisely, use it daily, use it faithfully. For as you speak within, so shall you live without. Let your self-talk be a constant act of creation. Let it bless your mornings, guide your noons, and cradle your nights. And let it declare, always and only, underscore, I am that which I have imagined myself to be. Underscore, and the world will echo back. Underscore, yes, you are. Underscore, there are windows in the soul through which creation flows more easily. Moments in the day when the gates of the subconscious lie open like a temple waiting for incense. These are sacred thresholds. Asterisk, asterisk, the rising and the falling of consciousness, asterisk, asterisk. And if you would impress upon your world the truth of your desire, you must learn to honor these moments with your inner word, your sacred repetition. The first of these moments is upon waking, that holy space between sleep and full alertness. You rise from the depths of your dreamscape, and your mind is still soft, still fluid, still unguarded. This is no ordinary moment. This is the hypnagogic state, a divine stillness where the conscious and subconscious dance together. It is here, before your mind remembers the burdens of yesterday, before the noise of the world rushes in. It is here that your voice carries great weight. Speak now from the end. Do not delay. Before your feet touch the earth, declare, underscore, I am who I choose to be. Underscore, let it be a phrase of truth wrapped in the warmth of feeling. Speak it not only with lips, but with heart. Repeat your chosen phrase. See your chosen scene. And more than anything, underscore, feel, underscore it. This is the seed time, and the seed that is sown in this tender soil must grow. Then comes the rest of the day, filled with its movements and tasks, distractions and duties. Yet even here, if you are wise, you'll make sacred space. A pause in the morning air, a moment in the shade of a tree, a breath between conversations. These are not wasted moments. These are your altar breaks, your secret rituals. In these quiet seconds, return to your phrase. Whisper it inwardly. Let it rise again like breath. Let your imagination repeat the scene. Let your inner self re-enter the state. Do not underestimate the power of these small intervals. What is repeated throughout the day becomes your dwelling place. And what becomes your dwelling place must, by law, become your experience. Even if only for 20 seconds, if you say with deep conviction, underscore, I am already living in my dream reality, underscore, and you feel it, then those 20 seconds are worth more than hours of distracted thought. It is not length of time, but quality of awareness that plants the seed. And what is planted in awareness will bloom and form. Then, as night begins to fall and the mind prepares for rest, another window opens. This is the sacred return to the hypnagogic threshold. You are drifting between wakefulness and dream, between form and formlessness. And once more, the subconscious listens intently. What you say now, what you feel now, will echo through your sleep. It will become the song that is sung in the halls of the deep. So speak not of your fears. Do not fall asleep in worry. Do not carry the burdens of the day into the silence of the night. Instead, return to your chosen phrase. Return to your vision. Let be the final word upon your tongue. Let be the final image in your mind. Let be the final feeling in your heart. And as you drift into sleep, say gently, underscore it is done. I am, underscore, and let your body rest while your soul continues the work. For while you sleep, the subconscious labors without effort. It begins to rearrange your world to match the new pattern you have impressed. It speaks to others, moves through circumstances, opens doors, closes old ones, all without your conscious doing, but only if you have given it clear instruction. This is the rhythm of spiritual discipline. Speak upon waking, affirm throughout the day, and impress before sleeping. Let this be your trinity of creation. Let this be your daily temple, morning, noon, and night, not as obligation, but as alignment, not from strain, but from surrender. You are always speaking within yourself. But when you speak deliberately, consistently, and at the right moments, your inner voice becomes a force of transformation. So I say to you, sanctify these thresholds. Rise with the voice of truth. Walk through your day with the echo of fulfillment. And fall into sleep with the song of manifestation in your soul. These are your sacred hours. Use them, and the world must respond. Not by wish, but by law. My beloved, let us now ascend into the sacred heights of the most powerful declaration known to man. The eternal name, the creative word, the holy utterance that echoes from Genesis to Revelation, from the depths of the subconscious to the peaks of divine realization. I am. You see, everything begins with underscore, I am underscore. Before the world was formed, before light shone or stars were scattered, the first truth that ever was and ever will be declared itself. Underscore, I am that I am. Underscore, this is not the name of a distant God. This is the identity of your innermost being. It is the core of who you are. It is the spark of the divine wrapped in your flesh, breathing your breath, dreaming your dreams into form. Every time you say, I am, you're invoking this sacred power. You are claiming with divine authority what you are willing to embody. You are not merely speaking words. You are planting destiny. You are sculpting your inner world, which must, by law, externalize itself in the world around you. So I ask you, what are you joining to I am? Are you saying, I am tired, I am unlucky, I am afraid? Then be warned. You are commanding the creative power of the universe to make it so. You are not describing a passing mood. You are decreeing your state of being. You are fixing your soul to a form, and your world must reflect it. But if instead you rise in faith and speak, underscore, I am healthy, I am strong, I am radiant with energy, underscore, even when the outer body trembles, even when the mind still remembers weakness, if you speak it with conviction, with repetition, with feeling, then the body must follow. The world must conform. For underscore, I am underscore is not a hope. It is a law. I am abundant. I am loved. I am at peace. These are not fantasies. They are acts of creation. When you say them and feel them as true, you step into the state. And once occupied in imagination, that state must become fact. The subconscious hears, I am, and it does not debate, it builds. It accepts your assumption as the blueprint of reality and begins to arrange all things to match it. This is why I tell you, never use I am to describe what you do not wish to sustain. Never use I am to voice lack or delay. To say underscore, I am trying to be, underscore, I am hoping to be. Underscore is to deny the power of the present. And the present is the only place where creation occurs. You do not become what you hope to be. You become what you underscore accept underscore is true. And acceptance is made real through the phrase underscore I am. Underscore, let us imagine now, you desire healing. Then each morning as you rise, and each night as you fall into sleep, declare, underscore, I am whole. I am vibrant. I am restored. Underscore, do not wait for the evidence. The evidence must follow the assumption. Feel the truth of those words. Walk in them. Let them become natural. Let them become your spiritual skin. Or perhaps you seek prosperity. Then affirm, underscore I am wealthy. I am richly supplied. I am provided for now. Underscore not in the future, not soon, but now. Because underscore I am underscore is always now. It cannot be otherwise. And if you long for love, do not say underscore I am waiting for love. Underscore for that is to be the one who waits, and the universe will keep you waiting. Say underscore I am loved. I'm cherished. I am chosen. Underscore and let your heart believe it. For belief is the door through which the invisible becomes visible. I tell you, my dear ones, the words you place after underscore, I am, underscore are seeds of destiny. Guard them, choose them, repeat them, feel them, speak them in the morning, in the quiet hours of the day, in the stillness of night. Let them become your identity, and your identity shall become your life. This is not magic. It is law, immutable, impartial, exact. And so I leave you with this. Never say underscore, I am underscore lightly. For every time you speak those words, the infinite listens, and the world begins to shape itself around the image you have declared. Say instead what your soul longs to be, as though it already is. And through that bold assumption, you shall become it. I am. These are the two most powerful words you will ever speak. Use them wisely, and they shall become your salvation. My dear, luminous souls, if words are the spark, then mental imagery is the flame that sets your inner world ablaze with reality. To speak your desire is powerful, but to underscore see it underscore, to underscore feel it underscore, to underscore live inside it underscore in the sacred theater of imagination is to weave the invisible into form. For creation is not merely verbal, it is experiential within. And what is experienced inwardly, with feeling and faith, must unfold outwardly by immutable law. Let me impress this truth upon your heart. You must create mental scenes that are coherent with your wish fulfilled. Not general, not vague, not distant, but precise, vivid, personal. The subconscious does not respond to ideas in theory. It responds to underscore scenes underscore, to underscore movements underscore, to underscore living pictures underscore soaked in the perfume of emotion. And when you construct such a scene in the imagination and repeat it with feeling, you are rehearsing reality into being. You desire success? Then do not merely say, I am successful. Close your eyes and see yourself in the very moment that proves it. Perhaps you are walking out of an office with a signed contract in your hand. You feel the paper, hear the congratulatory voice of your colleague. You see the light in their eyes as they shake your hand and say, underscore you did it. Underscore that moment, the applause, the smile, the texture of triumph. That is your scene. Relive it again and again until it becomes more real than the world you call physical. You long for love? Then do not only affirm, I am loved. Enter the scene. Imagine an embrace, the warmth of a hand in yours, the joy of a shared morning. Hear their voice speaking your name with tenderness. See the way they look at you, not as someone to be won, but as someone already chosen. Let that moment be natural. Let it be yours. Or perhaps you seek healing. Then craft a scene in which the healing is already complete. You are walking freely, moving easily, laughing with others. Perhaps a friend says to you, underscore, you look incredible. You're glowing. Underscore, and you smile with the quiet confidence of one who knows they have been restored. That is your victory in picture form. The scene must be short, repeatable, and emotionally rich. Just a few seconds in length. But every detail must be filled with the essence of truth. Do not watch it like a distant observer. Underscore, turn underscore. See through your own eyes. Hear through your own ears. Touch the things you long to touch. Feel the result in your chest, not as a hope, but as a memory revived from the future. Do not complicate the scene. Choose a single event that implies the fullness of the fulfilled desire. You do not need to imagine the entire journey. Imagine the underscore fruit underscore, and the tree will grow. Imagine the underscore harvest underscore, and the seeds will sprout beneath the surface. The scene is not the cause. It is the underscore confirmation underscore. When you imagine the end, you give the subconscious the blueprint, and it builds according to your vision. Consistency is key. Repetition is the rhythm that engraves the image into the unseen. Night after night, morning after morning, return to your chosen scene. Let it become a familiar dwelling place. Let it become so natural that you feel a sense of nostalgia each time you enter it. That feeling, that underscore naturalness underscore, is the sign that the subconscious has received the command. You are not daydreaming. You are underscore constructing reality underscore. You are practicing possession. You are shifting identity. And once the inner self accepts the scene as real, the outer must rise to reflect it. The world may call it fantasy, but what they call fantasy, I call preparation for manifestation. You are rehearsing the joy of answered prayer, and the law of consciousness is never mocked. What you consistently imagine with belief and emotion, you shall inevitably experience. So I say, build your scene, make it holy, make it yours, and return to it with devotion. See yourself rejoicing, celebrating, being embraced, congratulated, fulfilled. See it clearly, feel it deeply, live it inwardly, and soon, very soon, it will be your waking life. For imagination is not a mere faculty. It is your bridge to the eternal, and scenes vividly lived within must appear without. Let the inner picture match your inner word. Let the inner word match your chosen identity, and let that identity be repeated, lived, and underscore seen underscore, until the world bows to your vision and calls it fate. Do not be deceived by appearances, my beloved. Do not measure the power of your imaginal act by the delay of the outer world. For the law of persistence is eternal and sure. It is the silent strength that sustains creation until the unseen becomes seen. And those who understand this law, those who stand firm in their assumption, will harvest a reality the world once called impossible. You may plant the seed of a new identity, a new condition, a new reality within, but the flower does not bloom the moment the seed touches soil. And yet, the miracle is already in motion the very moment you dare to believe. Beneath the surface, in the deep and sacred soil of the subconscious, life begins to stir. Roots extend in silence. The unseen takes form. But to the outer eye, nothing has changed, yet everything is already changing. Herein lies the test of the awakened soul. Will you persist even when nothing seems to happen? Will you hold fast to your imaginal scene, to your chosen I am, to the vision you have rehearsed, even as the world offers no evidence? I say to you, yes, persist, for persistence is faith in motion. Persistence is love made loyal to your inner truth. It is the refusal to bow to the illusion of delay, the holy defiance of doubt. Think of the farmer, wise in the rhythms of the earth. He plants the seed and walks away, trusting in the unseen forces to do their part. He does not dig it up each morning to check its progress. He does not mourn because the fruit is not yet visible. He persists in belief. He waters. He waits. He rejoices in the future harvest underscore, as if it were already his underscore. And so, it is with the soul who persists in the imaginal act. When you speak underscore, I am successful, underscore, and the outer world still echoes lack, persist. When you affirm, underscore, I am loved, underscore, and the phone remains silent, persist. When you see yourself healed, whole, transformed in imagination, and the body still trembles, persist. For every repetition is a watering of the seed. Every time you return to your scene, every time you feel it again as real, you're nurturing the roots of your new reality. And though the germination is invisible, it is unstoppable. The law cannot be mocked. The subconscious cannot be tricked. It will bring forth what has been persistently impressed. Do not ask, how long will it take? That question is born of fear. Ask rather, how deeply can I dwell in the feeling of the wish fulfilled? For when the inner state becomes stable, natural, constant, Then suddenly, like a thief in the night, the outer shifts. The delay is not denial. It is preparation, is alignment. It is the soul's slow dance with divine timing. Do not abandon the process because the outer world is slow to obey. The outer is always the last to know. The real change occurs first within, and only persistence ensures it is carried through to completion. There may be days when the old voice returns, when the shadows of doubt whisper their familiar stories. But do not fear. Simply return to the scene. Return to your phrase. Return to your I am, not with struggle, but with gentle insistence, with calm authority, with unshakable love for the new state you have chosen. For what is persistence, if not the daily act of faith? The sacred decision to believe again and again and again, until belief becomes knowing and knowing becomes being. So I tell you, if you do not see the fruit yet, persist. If others laugh, persist. If fear rises, persist. For the one who persists in imagination, persists in power. The one who holds the inner picture steady shall watch the outer conform in reverence. And one day soon, you will walk into a moment that feels oddly familiar. Not because it is coincidence, but because it is the very scene you repeated in imagination. The vision that once lived only in silence will now stand before you, clothed in form. And you will remember, underscore, I have seen this before in a secret place of my soul. Underscore, this is the reward of those who persist. This is the law fulfilled. The seed you refuse to abandon has become a life you now live. So do not let appearances shake you. Let persistence be your sanctuary. For the soul that persists in truth cannot fail. It is already done. Now, beloved soul, we come to one of the most sacred and transformative practices ever revealed to man, the quiet, deliberate, reverent act of nightly revision. This is not mere reflection. This is not idle memory. This is the art of creation in retrospect. And when performed faithfully, it becomes the golden thread that rewrites the past and thereby rearranges the future. Each night, as your body prepares for rest and your conscious mind begins its descent into sleep, you stand at a threshold, a door between worlds. And it is here, in this twilight space, that your imagination is most powerful. The walls of resistance are thin. The gate to the subconscious swings wide. And it is in this soft, receptive soil that you must plant the corrected seed. Not of what underscore was underscore, but of what underscore ought to have been underscore. You do not drift to sleep as a victim of the day. You do not surrender to the story as it happened. No, you become the author anew, the sculptor who reshapes the marble of memory until it gleams with the image of your desire. Let me show you the way. As you lie in stillness, before you close the curtain of the eyes, begin to replay the events of your day. But do not do so passively. You're not a spectator. You are the divine editor. If any moment unfolded in contradiction to your ideal, if someone rejected you, if you spoke in fear, if you faced lack, if you missed an opportunity, you do not accept it. You revise it, lovingly, with clarity, with conviction. Imagine the conversation that went awry, now going well. Hear the words you wish were spoken. Feel the joy you longed for, felt. See the door that was closed, now open. Let the day become what it underscore should have been underscore, and feel it is real. You may say, but Neville, the day is over, the moment is gone. I tell you now, nothing is gone in imagination. There is no past fixed in stone. There is only consciousness and the pattern you continue to impress upon it. And the subconscious, eternal and impartial, accepts whatever is most vividly felt and repeatedly imagined, whether it was outer fact or inner vision. Therefore, by revising the day, you teach the subconscious to believe in a new story. And once the subconscious accepts this revised version as true, it begins its sacred work of arranging your outer world to match this new assumption. You'll find in time that people begin to act differently toward you, not because they changed, but because underscore you underscore did. Circumstances realign, delays dissolve. The world reshapes itself around your corrected vision, as surely as light bends through a prism. Do this not once, but nightly. Make it your ritual, your holy conclusion to each day. Even if all went well, you may still enhance, embellish, deepen the joy. If the day was filled with struggle, see it again as filled with triumph. And let no version of the day go unredeemed by imagination. This is not fantasy, it is creative prayer. And the one who revises with love and persistence will awaken in a world that mirrors the revision. You're not a prisoner of your past. You're not bound to the events that seem to be. You're the potter in the clay, the dreamer in the dream, the author in the story. And each night, before you close your eyes, you hold the pen once more. So I say to you, rewrite the day. Let your last thoughts be not of regret, but of fulfillment. Let your final feeling be not of resistance, but of rest. And sleep as the one who has already seen life unfold as it should. For the subconscious, hearing this vision repeated with emotion, shall record it as fact, and the world must follow. This, my friends, is the secret of the night, to revise with imagination, to feel it as truth, and to fall asleep as though the new version were the only version. And when you rise, you will not rise into the same world. You will rise into one that has shifted, silently but surely, toward the likeness of a dream. For what is felt as real within, and believed upon falling asleep, will always be birthed into form. Revise nightly, forgive imaginatively, correct lovingly, and rest deeply in the arms of your own fulfilled vision. Asterisk, asterisk, my dear friend on the path of remembrance. If you have chosen to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, if you have planted the seed of your new identity in the sacred soil of imagination, then I implore you, do not uproot it with your own tongue, for the word is not merely sound. It is power, and when you speak, you declare reality into form. So many, in the quiet of morning, affirm, underscore, I am abundant, underscore, I am loved, underscore, all things are working for me. Underscore, their voice is calm, their hearts open, their intentions pure. Yet by midday they utter, underscore, I'm tired of this, underscore, for nothing works out for me, underscore, I don't know how I'll ever get out of this mess. Underscore, and in that moment, they undo what was beautifully done. They cancel the inner decree with a careless outer confession. Let it be clearly understood. The subconscious does not distinguish between your sacred affirmations and your casual complaints. It receives only what is repeated with emotion. And if the dominant tone of your day is frustration, worry, criticism, or fear, then that is the vibration being impressed. Not the few moments of affirming in the morning, but the repeated inner mood throughout the day. You cannot declare, underscore, I am wealthy, underscore, and then spend your afternoon murmuring, underscore, everything is too expensive, underscore, you cannot affirm, underscore, I am healthy, underscore, and then say, underscore, this pain is getting worse, underscore, without creating confusion in the soil of consciousness. You're giving mixed commands to the servant that always obeys. You must become watchful of your word, not from fear, but from reverence. For your word is your want. And each statement you make about yourself, about your world, about what is possible, becomes law to your subconscious. Speak casually of defeat, and you sow defeat. Speak often of worry, and you water the seed of fear. But speak life, speak love, speak joy, and the earth must yield fruit accordingly. If a gardener plants roses in the morning and weeds them out in the afternoon, he must not blame the soil when nothing grows. And if you affirm abundance with lips, but sow lack with conversation, do not question why your world remains barren. It is not enough to speak rightly in the sacred hour. You must live rightly in the hours that follow. Now, this does not mean you must walk through the world in forced cheer, pretending that all is perfect. It means only this, that you must become loyal to the version of yourself you have chosen. Loyal in thought, loyal in word, loyal in vibration. Speak as that self would speak. Respond as that self would respond. Carry the tone, the posture, the attitude of one who already underscore is underscore what they once longed to become. If you find yourself drifting into the old story, pause, breathe, remember who you are, and gently return to your phrase. Return to your scene. Return to your I am. Say it silently, if not aloud. Underscore, I remember. I'm already that which I seek. Underscore, this is the discipline of the mystic, not the denial of experience, but the choosing of a higher truth. You do not lie to yourself. You remind yourself. You bring your inner conversation back into harmony with the end you have seen in imagination. And when your speech aligns with your assumption, your world will align with your word. So be mindful, not only in meditation, not only in the stillness of night, but throughout the living day, in traffic, in conversation, in moments of silence. Let your words be seeds of a life you are now creating. Let no complaint escape your lips without first being transfigured in awareness. Let no word of lack be given voice without remembering the abundance that is already yours in the unseen. For the subconscious listens always. It does not sleep. It does not forget. It records and responds to every tone of your inner and outer voice. Therefore, speak only what you wish to see. Affirm not only in sacred hours, but in sacred speech throughout your day. And let your life become a living prayer, a continual echo of the truth you have chosen. This is how the new state is sustained. This is how it becomes natural. This is how you become one underscore with your desire. Let your words bless your world. Let your language honor your assumption. And your assumption shall, without fail, become your reality. If you would shape your world with precision, if you would saturate your subconscious with the fragrance of your fulfilled desire, then I invite you to embrace one of the simplest, most potent instruments of inner transformation, a daily mantra, a sacred phrase, short in length but infinite in power, designed to carry your consciousness into alignment with the end you have claimed. This mantra is not a chant of desperation, nor a wish cast into the wind. It is a decree, a chosen truth spoken with the authority of one who knows that imagination creates reality. It is your spiritual signature, a vibration that echoes through the corridors of the mind and leaves an imprint upon the very substance of your being. Let this mantra be brief, bold, and believable. Let it roll off the tongue with ease, like a melody remembered from some distant home. Something so simple, yet so saturated with faith that you can repeat it again and again, while walking, while resting, while working, while waiting. A single phrase that becomes a companion to your breath, a rhythm to your day, a heartbeat to your belief. Perhaps it is, underscore, everything is always working out perfectly for me now. Underscore, or underscore, I'm always supported in all I do. Underscore, or even more directly, underscore, I am blessed. I am loved. I am free. Underscore, the form is yours to shape. The key is that it summarizes your chosen end in present tense, not as a future hope, but as a current truth. And once chosen, you do not treat it casually. You treat it as holy. You speak it not only in ceremony, but in the quiet spaces between the noise of the world. You carry like a sacred ember in your chest. You say it while brushing your teeth, while waiting in line, while walking to the next task. And each repetition is another stroke upon the canvas of your subconscious. This is no idle muttering. This is deliberate self-consecration. For repetition is what softens resistance. Repetition is what dissolves the old identity and installs the new. The more often your mind hears the new phrase, the more familiar it becomes. And what becomes familiar becomes underscore natural underscore. And what becomes natural becomes underscore true underscore. Do not be discouraged if at first the words feel strange. That is only the echo of the old self fading. With each repetition, the new voice grows stronger. With each utterance, the old world begins to shift. You're not just saying words. You're teaching your soul how to feel again. You're building a new self-concept from the inside out. When the world tempts you to react in fear, repeat your mantra. When circumstances seem contrary, repeat your mantra. When your mood begins to waver, return to the sacred phrase. Let be the rock beneath your feet, the torch in your hand, the song in your heart. And I tell you, If you do this faithfully, if you say your mantra not as one begging for change, but as one underscore being underscore the change, you will see miracles. The inner ground will shift. The outer world will follow. For the subconscious, shaped by consistent vibration, must bring forth after its kind. This is not superstition. It is spiritual technology. You are not merely trying to feel better. You are reprogramming the very blueprint of your experience. So now, I ask you, what phrase will you choose? What truth will you decide to become? Choose it well. Speak it often. Feel it deeply. And let it be to you as the shepherd's staff, as the compass in the storm, as the thread that draws heaven down into the garment of your days. Your mantra is your message to life. And life, being faithful, will echo it back in form. Now, dearest soul, we arrive at the sacred heart of all manifestation. Of all the truths I have ever spoken, of all the techniques I've ever shared, there's one jewel that shines above the rest. One key that opens every door. One whisper that the subconscious never fails to obey. Feeling is the secret. Not effort, not logic, not endless repetition alone, but the feeling, the living, breathing, vibrant emotion of the wish fulfilled. This is the golden bridge between the invisible and the visible. This is the divine language by which you speak to the creative depths of your being. For what you feel is true, the subconscious accepts as law. You may speak the right words, imagine the perfect scene, repeat the most poetic affirmation, but if you do so without emotion, without underscore embodied conviction underscore, you are only touching the surface. And the surface cannot move the deep. It is feeling that breaks the crust of all beliefs. It is feeling that awakens the sleeping forces of creation. It is feeling that imprints itself into the eternal and draws to you its likeness. So I ask you now, not what do you want, but what would you underscore feel underscore if you already had it? Would it be relief, the sweet sigh of something finally resolved? Would it be joy, rising like light in the heart, uncontainable and pure? Would it be peace, the stillness that comes from knowing all is well, perfectly, fully well? Do not wait for these feelings to arrive after the fact. Summon them now. Create them now. For in truth, they're not effects, they are causes. You do not feel joy because you are free. You are free because you feel joy. You do not feel loved because someone came. Someone comes because you first felt loved. This is the great reversal. This is the mystery of the kingdom, that the inner underscore precedes underscore, and the outer underscore follows underscore. Take the time to practice this. Close your eyes and enter your chosen scene, not merely as an observer, but as one immersed. Do not ask for the image to be perfect. Let it be alive. Let it breathe. And most of all, let it move you. Let your heart respond to the vision as if it were happening now. Feel the weight of fulfillment, the naturalness of your desire realized, the stillness that comes when striving is no longer needed. Feel yourself already there, already healed, already abundant, already embraced, already home. This emotional state is your compass. It tells the subconscious, underscore, this is who I am now, underscore, and the subconscious, hearing the tone of truth in your vibration, begins to shape your outer world to match that state. This is why I say, choose the end and feel it real. Not the process, not the waiting, not the hoping, but the end and the feeling of it as already done. When you dwell in that emotional space consistently, lovingly, faithfully, you're writing your future in a language that creation understands. If your desire is for wealth, then feel the security of being fully provided for. Feel the excitement of freedom, the delight of generosity, the rest that abundance brings. If your desire is for love, then feel the warmth of being cherished. Feel the safety, the laughter, the soft joy of companionship that asks for nothing, because it already underscore is underscore. If your desire is for healing, then feel the vitality already present. Feel yourself strong, vibrant, whole. Let your body respond to the image. Let it remember what it feels like to be well, and let that remembrance become your prayer. And if ever doubt arises, if you begin to ask, but when will it come? Gently return to the feeling. For that question is born of separation, and feeling is your return to unity. You are not waiting for the thing to arrive. You are calling it from within, and it must come forth in the time appointed by your belief. So let this be your daily devotion, not merely to imagine, but to feel, not merely to affirm, but to embody, not merely to declare, but to rejoice. For it is not the words you speak, but the state you live from that creates your world. Remember this always. Feeling is the secret, and the secret is already yours. Now, dearest traveler of the inner realm, let us touch upon a gentle, yet profound key. One that opens the gates of assumption not through declaration, but through curiosity. A sacred tool, subtle as breath, yet mighty as thunder when rightly applied. The power of the positive question. For while statements such as underscore, I am abundant, underscore, I am loved, underscore carry authority, the mind, if it is still entangled in the remnants of doubt, may resist them. But a question, especially a question cast in the tone of wonder, has the power to bypass resistance. It opens a new chamber in consciousness, invites, not commands, not demands, but underscore invites underscore the subconscious to respond in kind. Why? Because your mind is always seeking coherence. It desires resolution. And when presented with a question, especially one that implies a beautiful truth already unfolding, it begins immediately to build the bridge between belief and experience. The subconscious, hearing the question, begins to rearrange reality to make the answer so. So I ask you now, what if you asked with a heart full of reverent awe, underscore, why is everything working out so perfectly for me right now? Underscore not as a plea, but as a realization disguised as inquiry. Not as a hope, but as a doorway to assumption. Or perhaps, underscore, why am I manifesting my desires with such ease and joy? Underscore, why do I feel so supported, so guided, so fortunate in all that I do? Underscore, why does abundance flow to me so naturally now? Underscore, these are not the questions of a beggar. These are the questions of a soul who knows they are worthy. These are the wonderings of a heart already aligned with fulfillment, already celebrating the harvest before the field even shows the stalk. You see, the subconscious does not argue. It accepts the premise of the question as fact. If you ask underscore, why do I always fail? Underscore, the subconscious will go forth and gather evidence to prove it. But if you ask underscore, why am I so successful in everything I touch? Underscore, the same law applies. It will seek and will find. And so these positive questions become mental anchors, holding you in the vibration of the wish fulfilled without struggle. They are soft but unyielding. They plant a seed of confidence that grows quietly beneath the surface, unnoticed at first, but then suddenly bursting forth as opportunity, as clarity, as change. Speak them often. Let them rise gently throughout your day, like waves of grace. When faced with doubt, ask with calm delight, underscore, why is everything unfolding for me in the most wonderful way? Underscore, when impatience stirs, ask, underscore, why is it so easy now to trust the process and enjoy each moment? Underscore, when uncertainty creeps in, ask, underscore, why do I always find myself in the right place at the right time? Underscore, let these questions become your companions. Not shouted but whispered, not demanded but pondered, and feel the feeling that would answer them. If you ask underscore, why am I so loved? Underscore, then feel loved. If you ask underscore, why is money coming to me effortlessly? Underscore, then feel the ease of abundance. In this way, you are not fighting the old beliefs. You are gently replacing them. You are not pushing against the wall of resistance. You are walking around it with elegance and wisdom. And do you know what happens to the one who repeats these sacred questions with sincerity and joy? Life begins to answer. The world begins to echo the tone of your inquiry. People begin to respond to the new vibration you carry. Circumstances shift, and before long, the question is no longer a tool. It becomes your reality. So ask with trust. Ask with reverence. Ask not for information, but for transformation. For the subconscious, your silent partner, is always listening, and it will, without fail, rise to meet the assumption behind every question you dare to ask. And what you ask in faith, the world will answer in form. Beloved, let us now clarify a most precious truth, one that will protect your faith from premature discouragement and strengthen your resolve upon the path of manifestation. When I say that your desires may manifest twice as fast I do not speak of magic, nor of manipulation, nor of events that bypass divine law. I speak of alignment, and alignment quickens the harvest. You see, acceleration is not the same as instantaneity. To reduce time is not to erase process, but to harmonize with it so perfectly that what once required great delay now flows swiftly into form. The river still bends, but it meets no resistance. The tree still grows, but it drinks from richer soil. The seed still germinates, but with light and warmth, it does so in half the time. This is the essence of spiritual germination. All things have their appointed season, but seasons may be shortened, not by force, not by panic, but by rightful inner conditioning . When the inner state is fully assumed, when the feeling of the wish fulfilled is no longer a rare visitor, but a permanent resident, then the outer must hasten to reflect it. Let's consider nature. When a seed is placed in poor soil, it may take months to sprout, if it sprouts at all. But place that same seed in rich earth, give it sunlight, give it water, give it attention, and the very same seed germinates quickly, powerfully, joyfully. And so it is with you. When your mind is saturated with assumption, when your inner speech and your inner emotion are in agreement, you have placed your desire in fertile ground. You have called down the sun. You have turned time into an ally. Many will say, "But Neville, I imagined once and nothing happened." And I say to them, one imaginal act, though powerful, cannot compete with weeks of contradictory thought. But when you persist, when you feel it real, when you imagine it again and again, not with strain but with joy, not with doubt but with certainty, then the time between imaginal act and physical fact begins to collapse. If a thing would have taken 3 months, it may now come in 6 weeks. If a thing would have taken 6 weeks, it may now arrive in days. Not because you forced it, but because you no longer resisted it. You have removed the mental weeds. You have aligned your inner state with the end. This is not fantasy, it is law. Desire plus assumption plus repetition equals acceleration. The law does not promise you that things will appear immediately . But it does promise you that what is felt as true will inevitably become real. And the clearer, purer, and more consistently you dwell in that truth, the more swiftly it appears. So I say unto you, wait without worry, act without doubt, speak your mantra, feel your scene, imagine your end, and trust that you have shortened the road by walking it inwardly. You may not see the roots, but the sprout is coming. You may not feel the shift yet, but it is already underway. The moment you became the one who has, the unseen began to respond. The delay was never punishment, it was preparation. And now, you prepare faster. The outer must obey the inner. It cannot be otherwise. But your task is not to watch the clock, it is to guard the state. Your work is not to measure the distance, but to dwell in the destination. The bridge of incidents will come. The means will reveal themselves. The timing will be perfect. But the feeling of fulfillment must come first . So remain faithful not to what you see, but to what you have claimed . Know that you are now in alignment. In an alignment, time yields. What once crawled now walks. What once walked now runs. What once felt far away is now upon your doorstep. You have accelerated not the world, but your own assumption. And that is enough to move the mountains of delay. So rejoice, not because you wait less, but because you know more. And what you know within shall soon appear without, faster than the old mind ever dare believe. Beloved, hear me now with the ears of a spirit, for what I am about to reveal is not merely instruction, but deliverance. If you would rise into the life you have imagined, if you would dwell in the state of your fulfilled desire, you must become deeply vigilant of the inner conversations you entertain. For the mind speaks always, and the words you speak within are the threads that weave the garment of your world. You may say, underscore, I never have luck, underscore, things never work out for me, underscore, and it's always so difficult, underscore, and you believe these to be innocent complaints, harmless expressions of frustration. But I tell you, they are decrees. They are assumptions. An assumption, felt, repeated, believed, creates reality. Your inner speech is prophecy. What you say of yourself, even in silence, is what you command the subconscious to accept and produce. So the one who says, underscore, I'm always overlooked, underscore will live a life where they are consistently unseen. The one who murmurs, underscore, money slips through my fingers, underscore shall find their hands ever empty. These are not random phrases. They are creative forces cloaked in habit. Therefore, you must become as a watchman upon the walls of your mind. You must listen, observe, and when an old phrase arises, an echo of the former self, you must gently but firmly replace it. Not with resistance, but with revelation. Do not fight the thought. Transcend it. If the voice within says, underscore, I'm not lucky, underscore, do not argue. Speak the higher truth. Underscore, I attract luck constantly. Things always go in my favor. Underscore, if the thought says, underscore, it's too hard. Underscore, answer softly. Underscore, things are becoming easier for me every day. Life flows with grace. Underscore, if the old voice cries, underscore, I never get what I want. Underscore, say instead, underscore, everything I desire comes to me with perfect timing. Underscore, you are not silencing the inner dialogue. You are retraining it. And in retraining it, you rewire the very foundation of your world. The subconscious accepts the dominant voice, not the loudest. It obeys the most frequent tone, not the occasional burst. And so, you must persist in your new speech again and again until the old voice fades into silence, and only the sound of truth remains. Do not be discouraged if the old phrases return for a time. They are habits, and habits require patience to replace. But every time you catch one, every time you replace it, you are reclaiming power. You are laying brick upon brick in the temple of your new self. And I tell you this with all certainty, when your inner conversations change, your outer life must follow. You may not know how, you may not know when, but the world around you will shift to match the world within you. This is not philosophy, it is law. You cannot continue to declare, underscore, nothing ever works, underscore, and walk into a life of ease. Nor can you speak, underscore, I'm always struggling, underscore, and expect abundance to knock on your door. But say instead, underscore, I'm always supported, underscore, everything is working for my good, underscore, things are flowing in my favor now. Underscore, speak these not with effort, but with sincerity, not with tension, but with quiet knowing. Let your new phrases be light, rhythmic, and constant. Speak them in your mind as you walk, as you wait, as you breathe. Let them become your spiritual heartbeat. And soon, the day will come when you notice you no longer need to correct the old thoughts. They have vanished. The new voice has become your natural voice. The truth you once repeated is now the truth you live. For you are not bound by the voice of your past. You are not condemned to repeat the language of limitation. You are free to speak anew. You are free to declare a new identity. You are free to rewrite your inner world. And by law, the outer will follow. So say it with me now, not from the mind, but from the depths. I attract joy. I attract ease. I attract all that is meant for me. And the world, hearing this new song, shall rise to meet you in it. Let me now draw back the curtain of time and share with you a few sacred echoes from those who dared to believe, not in theory, not in hope, but in practice. For this truth I speak is not confined to scriptures or to my own experience alone. It lives in the hearts and hands of men and women across the earth. Asterisk souls who have proven for themselves that imagination, combined with repetition and feeling, transforms the very fabric of their reality. Asterisk. I remember a young woman, quiet in manner but bold in vision, who came to one of my lectures seeking more than information. She sought a new life. She was burdened by lack, burdened by the belief that wealth was reserved for others, for the fortunate few. I told her what I tell you now, that no one is excluded from abundance, but by the inner decree of their own belief. And so she chose a phrase, as I instructed, simple, rhythmic, believable. Money flows to me in ever-increasing amounts. She whispered it in the morning. She whispered it in the evening. She whispered it while walking, while folding clothes, while lying in bed. And most of all, she whispered it with feeling, not as one begging for riches, but as one remembering who she already was. Within 2 weeks, a debt she had long forgotten was suddenly repaid. A freelance opportunity came without her seeking. And by the end of that month, she wrote me, I've made more money in 30 days than I did in 6 months prior. But the true change is not in the bank, it's in my mind. I now see myself differently. I expect, prosperity, that is the power of assumption carried out in repetition. And there was a man, stern, skeptical, worn from years of rejection and love. He told himself, over and over, people don't see me, in life, ever faithful, obeyed. But when he chose to replace that with a new phrase, I am magnetic, I'm seen, I am loved for who I am, and repeated it daily, not with desperation, but with gentle certainty, the world began to shift. He imagined a simple scene. A partner smiling across the table, reaching for his hand, saying, I'm so glad I found you. He played this scene as he fell asleep, as I taught him. And within weeks, he met someone new. Not because he tried, not because he searched, but because he changed his inner speech. Love found him because he first found himself lovable. Then there was a woman who had been ill, carrying the label of her condition like a burden carved in stone. I reminded her that labels are not permanent unless the soul accepts them. She chose a new phrase, I am vibrant. I am healed. My body is light and whole. At first, she could not believe it. But I told her, do not try to believe. Repeat until it becomes believable. Feel until it becomes familiar. She paired her phrase with emotion. She pictured herself walking again, laughing again, cooking in her kitchen with sunlight pouring through the windows. And the more she repeated it, the more her body responded. What medicine could not resolve, her imagination began to restore. Her doctor, baffled, called it spontaneous improvement, but we know it as divine fulfillment. These are not isolated miracles. These are natural results of supernatural law. This is what happens when a soul reclaims dominion over its inner world. When you repeat your new story, not once, not casually, but consistently, daily, joyfully, the subconscious accepts it as truth. And when the subconscious accepts a truth, life must conform to that inner reality. Do not say, but I am different. No, you are the same eternal being, wielding the same creative power, standing before the same doorway of choice. You only need to do what they did. Choose a new phrase, feel it as real, and repeat it until it becomes your identity. And when it becomes your identity, the world will recognize it. You won't need to prove yourself. Life will mirror it back to you through opportunities, people, events, and transformations that seem sudden, but they are not sudden. They're the visible arrival of what you have long rehearsed in silence. So I ask you now, will you not do as they have done? Will you not give yourself to the practice? Will you not dare to live from the end and let repetition carry you to the shore of your fulfilled desire? For these stories are not simply inspiration. They are evidence. And what was done for them will be done for you. When you align your speech, your vision, your feeling, and your faith. Not once, but daily. Repeat it, and you shall prove the law in your own life. Now, my dear companion on this sacred path of awakening, let's speak of the dance between inner conviction and outer movement, between what you declare in the silence of imagination and how you respond in the theater of the world. For though all things begin within, and though repetition and assumption shape the clay of belief, you must also become attentive to the quiet whisper of action, the inspired impulse that rises from alignment. Let me be perfectly clear. The world is not moved by force. It is moved by flow. And that flow begins when your inner state shifts. As you repeat your new identity, as you saturate your consciousness with the feeling of the wish fulfilled, your beliefs change. And when beliefs change, actions arise without strain. You do not force a tree to grow once the roots are planted. The fruit emerges as the natural consequence of inner life. And in the same way, when you declare I am successful, I am loved, I am abundant now, you are not simply waiting passively. No, you are preparing yourself for new doors to open. And when they do, you must walk through them, not out of desperation, not out of panic, but out of joyful recognition. For every change in assumption creates a new landscape of possibility. And what once seemed beyond reach will now seem obvious. What once felt intimidating will now feel natural. You will begin to sense inner nudges, gentle prompts, unexpected opportunities, and strange synchronicities. These are not distractions, they are answers. And here lies the beauty. When the inner state is secured through repetition, action is no longer a struggle, is not forced, it is inspired. You do not act in order to prove your worth. You act because you're already in possession of the end within, and the outer world simply becomes the stage upon which that inner possession is played out. There was once a woman who repeated day after day, I am a successful artist. My work blesses others and brings me abundance. For weeks, nothing moved on the outside, but she remained faithful to the inner claim. And then, one morning, she felt a quiet nudge to share a painting online, not from a place of strategy, but from a place of joy. That single action opened a flood of attention. She sold her first piece within days, not because she chased it, but because she became it first. This is the natural unfolding of inspired action. It is not a task. It is response to readiness. You are not acting to make the vision real. You are acting because the vision is real within, and the action flows as the echo of that inner knowing. So I say, do not confuse the power of imagination with idleness. Do not say, if I just imagine, I don't need to move. No. What you do not need is forced movement, but what you will feel more and more is a sense of guidance. You will feel pulled towards certain people, places, or decisions, not with fear, but with a quiet certainty. That is the voice of inspired action, and when it comes, honor it. Do not delay. Do not ask, but will this work? That is the voice of the old self. Instead, remember, I am already what I desire to be. This step is merely the unfolding. You're not here to sit idle. You are here to express, to respond, to flow with the current your own assumptions have set in motion. As within, so without. But let the without be a celebration of what has already been claimed in silence. So repeat your phrase, live your scene, feel your new state. And when the moment comes to move. When the email wants to be written, write it. When the invitation feels right, accept it. When the idea arises at dawn, act on it. These are not interruptions. These are confirmations. These are the bridges your subconscious is building toward the fulfillment of your word. Do not worry about the how. The how belongs to the wisdom of your deeper self. Your only task is to be faithful to the state and to respond when the doors appear. For in this beautiful dance between inner repetition and outer receptivity, you discover the secret rhythm of manifestation. And your life begins to flow, not by effort, but by alignment. You're no longer chasing results. You are living them from within and allowing the world to rise in response. Beloved soul, let us now turn to one of the most powerful inner alchemies available to you, the divine attitude, the sacred vibration, the golden shortcut to manifestation. Gratitude, not the gratitude of anticipation, not the gratitude of polite obligation, but the gratitude of fulfillment, that holy state that says underscore it is done. I have received. I am complete. Underscore you see, when you express gratitude underscore as if your desire has already been granted underscore, you speak the language of the subconscious in its purest form. You bypass effort. You leap over doubt. You send a clear, undeniable message. Underscore, I no longer seek. I have. Underscore in that message, when repeated with sincerity and feeling, reshapes your entire inner world. For gratitude is not a passive feeling. It is not something you wait to experience after the miracle arrives. It is, in truth, the activator of miracles. Gratitude is the emotional proof of belief. It is the signal to your deeper mind that the thing imagined has already been received. When you say underscore, thank you, universe, for my perfect health, underscore or underscore, thank you, life, for the abundance that now flows to me. Underscore, you're not pretending. You are proclaiming. You're living from the end. You are telling your subconscious, underscore, this is my current reality. Underscore, and the subconscious, faithful and impartial, will bring your outer life in a harmony with that inner confession. Gratitude is a magnet. It draws to itself that which matches its vibration. A heart that thanks life for blessings not yet seen is a heart that is no longer doubting. It is expecting. It is receiving. It is dwelling in the finished state. So let this become your sacred practice. Do not merely ask, asterisk, asterisk, fake. Asterisk, asterisk, do not beg. Bless. When you repeat your phrases, lace them with gratitude. Let your mantra be a psalm. Let your declarations be filled with reverence and appreciation, as though the gift has already arrived, and so it has, in the unseen. Say, underscore, thank you, universe, for this beautiful love that now surrounds me. Underscore, thank you for the wealth that flows to me freely and endlessly. Underscore, thank you for my peaceful mind, my strong body, my open heart. Underscore, feel the truth of those words. Let them warm your chest. Let them soften your breath. Let them make the unseen feel so present, so natural, that you begin to forget the lack that once haunted your thoughts. Gratitude is the frequency of the fulfilled, and the fulfilled do not wish, they celebrate. They do not strive, they rest. They do not chase. They draw all things to themselves by the radiance of their inner thankfulness. I've seen this truth proven again and again. Those who shift from asking to underscore thanking underscore experience acceleration. Why? Because the subconscious now believes that the desire has arrived, and it sets the world in motion to match that inner assumption. When you say underscore thank you, underscore with full emotion, you are not describing the world. You are commanding it. You are not passively observing. You are actively creating. And gratitude, when repeated daily, becomes a underscore gateway to embodiment underscore. So do not wait until things appear to feel thankful. That is to live backwards. Be thankful now. Let gratitude go before you as a herald. Let open the gates to all you have imagined. Walk through your day with the quiet, radiant joy of one who has already received. Let the mind echo again and again, thank you, thank you, thank you, it is already mine. And life, hearing that sacred refrain, must respond. For gratitude is the seal of the fulfilled desire. It is the invisible crown worn by those who dwell in the end. Feel it, repeat it, live it, and the world will come to meet you in the tone of your thanksgiving. Now, gentle soul, let us speak of those sacred storms that sometimes rise when you least expect them. The moments of silence, the waves of doubt, the hours when everything within you trembles and whispers. Underscore, what if none of this is real? Underscore, do not fear these moments. Do not shrink from them. They are not signs of failure. They are signs of transformation. For the truth is this: just before the new birth, the old identity often cries out. The mind, long tethered to past patterns, will resist its own liberation. Doubt will come, not as a punishment, but as a final testing, a holy disturbance, a last echo of the self you're leaving behind. And when it comes, do not panic. Do not collapse into old reactions. Simply remember, you have already planted the seed. The process is already underway. Asterisk, asterisk, and nothing, not doubt, not delay, not fear, can undo a seed consistently watered by faith and repetition. When uncertainty arises, do not fight it. Return to your phrase. Return to your scene. Return to your I am. Speak it not as if to convince the world, but to comfort the soul. Let be a gentle reminder. Underscore, I am already in possession of that which I have imagined. Underscore, you may say, underscore, but I do not feel it now. Underscore, then speak it still. For the repetition of truth in times of doubt is the highest act of devotion. Anyone can affirm when skies are clear, but the one who affirms in the rain, in the darkness, in the silence, this is the one who sees the promise fulfilled. So when a storm comes, underscore, do not stop, underscore. Keep walking in your inner world. Keep declaring what is yours. Keep thanking life for what is on the way. The very presence of fear is evidence that something in you is shifting and the old structure can no longer hold. This shaking is not your undoing, it is your becoming. Doubt, when met with persistence, transforms into deeper conviction, like a wave crashing upon a rock. It reveals the firmness of your foundation. Each time you return to your affirmation, you are not just protecting the seed. You're proving to your subconscious that you truly believe. Even if the voice of doubt speaks 1,000 times, let your truth be spoken 1,001. If the feeling of hopelessness rises, say with quiet certainty, underscore, nevertheless, it is already mine. It is already done. Underscore, there is a moment, known only to the soul, where everything seems silent, unchanging, distant. But beneath that stillness, something divine is being born. The subconscious does its holiest work in the unseen. Your assumption is being carved into reality like letters in stone, even when your eyes cannot yet read them. So take heart, hold fast. When doubt knocks, answer it with truth. When fear whispers, sing your affirmation louder. When nothing seems to move, remember, the law is already at work. Your imagination has already issued the command. And the world, though slow to show signs at first, is already shifting to obey. The rain may fall, the winds may rise, but if you remain in the state of the wish fulfilled, if you keep returning, even with trembling hands, to your chosen vision, then the sun must return. The path must open. The manifestation must appear. This is the sacred art of persistence in the face of uncertainty. It is not the absence of fear, but the refusal to surrender to it. It is not the silence of doubt that breaks the dream. It is the silence of belief that carries it through. So when the crisis of faith comes, and it will, do not see it as a curse. See it as the final veil, the last flicker of the old self burning away. And through the ashes, let your new identity rise. Say it again. Underscore, I trust the process. I trust the law. I trust that all is unfolding perfectly now. Underscore, and trust, most of all, in yourself. For you are the dreamer in the dream, the creator and the created. And no shadow of doubt can extinguish the light of your sustained assumption. You're already on the way. Stay the course. The promise is sure. Now, beloved, I invite you to step before the most sacred altar you will ever encounter. Not in a temple, not in a sanctuary built by hands, but in the still, silent presence of your own reflection. For there, in the mirror, you meet not merely the face you show to the world, but the self you have either denied or declared. Let us speak of the mirror, not as glass, but as portal. For when you stand before it and look into your own eyes, not glancing, not avoiding, but truly meeting yourself, you are engaging in one of the most powerful rituals of identity affirmation, the mirror exercise. You may repeat your affirmations in thought. You may whisper them in bed. But when you say them to yourself, face to face, something profound occurs. You bring the inner world into direct confrontation with the physical. You fuse self-concept with self-image. You do not merely say the words. You declare them underscore as the one who now believes underscore. Look into your eyes, yes, your own eyes, and say with authority, underscore, I am worthy. Underscore say, underscore, I am already successful. Underscore say, underscore, I am deeply loved. Underscore, and as you do, watch how the body responds. Watch how old programs may tremble. Watch how your subconscious listens more intently when the speaker and the subject are one. This is no performance. This is not for show. This is soul conversation. Perhaps at first there is resistance. Perhaps the voice shakes, the gaze drifts, the words feel foreign. That is simply the echo of the former self protesting its inevitable departure. But stay with the gaze. Speak again and again until the words soften the eyes, until your shoulders lift, until your heart opens, until the one in the mirror begins to believe. For repetition, spoken aloud to your reflection, pierces the veil of separation. You're no longer imagining a future version. You are becoming it in real time. You are collapsing the distance between your assumption and your embodiment. Say it gently but firmly. Underscore, I am now living my highest timeline. Underscore, everything I touch turns to gold. Underscore, I am healed. I am whole. I am divine. Underscore, and watch. Watch as the self you once doubted begins to rise to the surface. Watch as your posture changes. Your tone changes. Your very energy shifts. You're no longer waiting for proof. You're becoming the proof. This is not mere psychology. This is spiritual alchemy. You're imprinting your subconscious with sight and sound. You're showing your mind a living picture of who you now are. And with each repetition, the inner dialogue becomes clearer, stronger, truer. The mirror becomes a witness, a confirmation, a co-creator. Use this practice daily. Stand before the mirror each morning and speak as though you were addressing your highest self. And indeed, you are. Speak as the one who underscore has underscore, not the one who hopes. Speak until the voice in the mirror speaks back with confidence. And when you leave, carry that gaze with you. Let the inner image linger. Let it govern your choices, your posture, your tone. And return again each night, not to ask, but to reinforce. Before sleep, face yourself and say, underscore, thank you for being strong. Thank you for believing. Thank you for becoming. Underscore, this is your holy rehearsal. This is the baptism of identity. And I tell you now, if you do this with devotion, with feeling, with sincerity, your outer world will be unable to contradict it. For the mirror is not simply reflecting your body. It is reflecting your belief. And when belief changes, all things must follow. So meet yourself. Speak with power. See who you are becoming and become it fully now. Beloved traveler of imagination, let us now sanctify one of the most overlooked, yet deeply powerful acts of creation. The simple, sacred practice of recording your journey. Not for memory alone, but for magnification. Not for sentiment, but for spiritual reinforcement. What you write, you give weight. What you track, you multiply. And when you begin to capture the unfolding of your imaginal work upon the pages of a journal, you are not merely keeping notes. You are marking the footprints of your faith. Each day, take time to sit with yourself in stillness and write, not only what you repeated, but how you felt it. Write your chosen phrase. Write the scene you revisited. Write the mantras, the mirror declarations, the gentle questions you asked the universe with wonder. And then, write what you noticed, however subtle. A kind word from a stranger, a phone call out of nowhere, an idea that felt like it came from beyond, a shift in mood, a dream, an offer, a number repeated, a door gently creaking open. These are not coincidences. These are synchronicities, sacred signals that your inner work is already echoing into form. What the world calls small The awakened soul sees as confirmation. You're not writing to prove anything. You're writing to remind yourself that the law is always in motion, that your imagination is not passive, it is a living instrument, and the more consciously you use it, the more faithfully the world responds. When you record these moments, something beautiful begins to happen. Your confidence expands. You begin to underscore what you previously would have overlooked. The signs become louder. The proof becomes undeniable. And with every entry, your belief deepens. Not because someone told you it works, but because you're seeing it with your own eyes. You may begin with nothing more than this. Underscore today, I repeated, I am always divinely guided. I felt peace. On the train, a stranger smiled at me as if they knew something. I felt seen. I saw the number 111 again. My shoulders felt lighter. I remembered who I am. Underscore write these moments. Bless them. Return to them on days when doubt whispers. Let your journal become your sanctuary of evidence, a mirror of manifestation that says, underscore, look, your faith is not in vain. The seed is breaking the soil. Underscore, some will say, but I am not a writer. You need not be. This is not literature. This is a spiritual ledger, a record of the unseen becoming seen. The act of writing alone deepens your assumption. It solidifies the new identity. It is yet another repetition, one made visible. You are proving to yourself, not by force, but by witness. And over time, as the pages turn, you will look back and see how far you've traveled. You will see the evidence of grace, the architecture of your imagination unfolding in time. Perhaps one day you will write, underscore, I received what I asked for. It came gently, beautifully, just as I imagined. I'm so grateful. I now know that the law is sure. Underscore, and even then, you will keep writing, because the journey never ends. It only deepens. You are not simply creating outcomes. You are creating yourself anew, each day, with every word, every image, every repetition. So open the book. Begin today. Let it become your altar of remembrance. Let it remind you when winds blow and skies darken, that underscore something is always working beneath the surface underscore, and that your consistent inner work is never without fruit. You're not imagining in vain. You're not repeating into the void. You are participating in the divine unfolding of your highest self. In every page you write confirms it. And now, beloved soul, we arrive at the sacred seal, the divine conclusion that is not an end, but a beginning, your beginning. For everything I have spoken, every truth we have walked through together, rests upon one great pillar, one eternal law, one command that has echoed from the heavens into the human heart. As you believe, so shall be done unto you. You have now seen clearly that the power does not lie in the world, it lies in you. The power to shape, to call forth, to receive, to transform. And how is that power wielded? Not with struggle, not with force, but with one simple, sacred act repeated daily. Conscious repetition infused with emotion and conviction. This is the key. This is the door. This is the bridge from the unseen to the seen. Repetition is not monotony. It is mastery. It is the rhythm of belief becoming natural. It is the gentle training of your subconscious to accept a new state as familiar, as true, as underscore you underscore. And when that inner acceptance is complete, the world must bend. It must yield. It must reflect. But repetition without feeling is a hollow bell. So you must not only say it, you must feel it. You must enter the state with joy, with peace, with the sacred excitement of one who already possesses what was once only dreamed. Let your phrase be your prayer. Let your mantra be your melody. Let your declaration be spoken with such inner certainty that even the walls of your doubt begin to tremble. And now, I ask you, underscore not someday, not later, but now underscore to begin. Choose one affirmation, just one. Asterisk, asterisk, let it be a phrase that fills your heart with light. One that feels like a promise remembered. Perhaps, underscore, everything is always working in my favor now. Underscore, I am deeply loved and richly blessed. Underscore, I receive abundance with ease and joy. Underscore, whatever your spirit calls true, make it your own. Now, here is your sacred challenge. For the next 7 days, repeat this affirmation daily, with presence, with feeling, with belief. Upon waking, before sleep, and in the spaces in between. Say it in silence. Say it in the mirror. Say it in your journal. Say it when the world seems to contradict it. Say it anyway. And as you repeat, watch. Watch how your inner weather shifts. Watch how the outer world begins to respond. Perhaps in subtle signs. Perhaps in sudden blessings. But the movement will come. For repetition ignites momentum. And momentum bends reality. You are not repeating to make something happen. You are repeating because it has already happened in the realm of imagination, and you're simply aligning with it until the veil is lifted. So begin now. 7 days, one phrase, one feeling, one sacred commitment to become the one who already is. Asterisk, and I promise you, not in vague hope, but in the certainty of eternal law, you'll begin to see results twice as fast. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Because you dared to speak with conviction. Because you chose to dwell in the end. Because you became faithful to a new inner reality. And so I say, with love and final blessing, begin today, begin now, and let the world be your mirror. Let it show you the power of your assumption. Let it reveal what you have always carried within. Asterisk, repeat faithfully, and you'll be shaping a new reality. One phrase, one emotion, one day at a time. And behold, the results shall come in double speed. Asterisk,